All right, go. Let's go.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Yeah. Yeah, what's going on, people? It's EJ Boxing Live here. We're gonna do the breakdown. Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk. I got my man Khan, and we have this pugilist specialist. But he's 74. I haven't seen him for so long. So straight away, like, let's go into my man's pugilist specialist. How you been and where you been, bro? Where you been? And now you haven't been YouTube for a while. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I removed my YouTube channel a couple of years ago because I wanted to focus my energy on doing real estate. So I'm a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for several years now, and so I got into a different type of real estate, and I just wanted to focus my energy on that. So in order for me to do that, I had to kind of step away from my channel.
Okay, man. So, boy, I'm
Yeah.
glad to see you back, man. And we have my man Khan, bro. Me and Khan go backwards and forwards about 2 years ago. Boy, he was he was debating with another guy on Facebook. But Khan is a passionate fan. I'm happy to have him. What's up, Khan? How you doing?
All good, man. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm sure you're ready to chop you up with this one.
It's been a long time, man. That's what happens when you get married, man. Start ghosting and that. Do you know what I mean? So I had to vanish, man. Just be in the back, just looking and just hearing things. But no, I think today was the day I had to come back, man. It's good to be back on.
All right, yeah, boy, the both of you, boy, making your debut on EJ Boxing Live your channel. By the way, Pulis, have you got a channel? Have you, or you just do it? You just jump on the hangout because I know you're still on the hangout. Your channel's not there no more, right?
No, it's not there anymore.
Okay, all right. Well, I really appreciate you coming over and give you a breakdown. Obviously, Khan over here. So let me start with Khan. Khan, obviously, we have the big fight coming up. You know, we have some fights on the undercard here we could go through, but I thought, you know what? Let's just go straight into the main because you know what I mean. Let's get to the crust of the thing. Usyk versus Joshua. Who you got and why?
I think so. My heart is telling me, I want Usyk to win, but I've got to go on Usyk's last couple of performances at heavyweight. I just don't think he's big enough or strong enough for Anthony Joshua. I think Joshua wins by unanimous decision, doesn't knock him out. Remember, they're both Olympic gold medalists, so you know what I mean. It's not a joke. None of them are like low caliber. They're both good caliber fighters, especially Usyk being undisputed cruiserweight champion going up. He's good, but I just don't see the strength moving over to heavyweight. Struggled against Chisora. A lot of people think Chisora might have won. I know Usyk won, but I just don't feel Usyk's got the power to carry over to heavyweight, and I just don't see him outboxing Joshua, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's got to be Anthony Joshua, man.
So in saying that, Joshua, he got hit by Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz hasn't really done anything. Who's better, Andy Ruiz or Usyk?
I think Usyk, to be honest with you, but Andy Ruiz is a chubby guy. Usyk's a cruiserweight. He's a much lighter guy.
Ain't a cruiserweight no more. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just that size difference, man. Going in from cruiserweight to heavyweight is, there's some guys who are natural heavyweights. You got the Tyson Furies. You got AJ. These guys are proper solid big heavyweights. Yeah, but again, credentials speak for themselves, man. Numbers don't lie. People do. Um, Being undisputed cruiserweight champion, that says a lot. So yeah, I personally think Usyk's better technically as well. So
Yeah. All right. Well, we have to see. We'll have to see about it. I reckon I think this is the most livest opponent since Joshua's faced Vladimir Klitschko. That's just my take. Let's see what my man Pugilist 74's got to say. Go ahead.
So George Foreman once said that a great boxing is like jazz. It's the better it is, the better the musicianship, the more unappreciated it's going to be. So you have two boxers, two Olympic gold medalists in Usyk and Anthony Joshua, and what I think is going to happen is that both of these guys have really high boxing IQs, being Olympic gold medalists. I think what's going to happen in this fight, I don't think it's going to be a very exciting fight. I think it's going to be a little bit closer because I think Usyk is going to. I believe he's going to do a real good job at probably absorbing some of Anthony Joshua's shots, getting out of the way, maybe even smothering Anthony Joshua a little bit. I think it's going to be an ugly fight. I think Anthony Joshua is going to win, but I just think it's going to be an ugly fight. I think that casual fans won't appreciate it. That's what I personally think.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
another thing as well, people underestimate Olympic gold caliber, you know. So obviously a lot of people who are Olympic gold medalists are quality boxers. Obviously you've got the exceptions, you know, you've got Fraudley Harrisons and stuff who, you know, didn't follow through. But, you know, like the Olympic gold medalist stuff, you know, that speaks for itself, that speaks volumes, you know. So when you know somebody's an Olympic gold athlete, you know, they're the real deal, to be honest with you, most of the time. Not saying all the time, but most of the time. And yeah, I think it's going to be an ugly fight, like my man said. You know, I think obviously Joshua can use his strength to advantage. You know, like obviously if he's getting into any situations, you know, grab, hold, wear him down on the breaks, let out a few shots. You know, I think it's going to be an ugly fight. I think it's going to be a beautiful show, like my man said.
Well, I know I've first-hand experience. Mr. James Ali Bashir, when Josh used to go to the Klitschko's camp, Usyk was also there as well. And you know, I think they spar together. You know, they spar together, so they do know each other. And also, you know, he's a southpaw. He's a very busy southpaw. He hasn't boxed for over a year. So his timing might be off, but his conditioning is first class. And he what he does, he tries to work your work rate. So you know, Joshua's whole thing is controlling the middle of the ring, working his jab and wearing you down, you know what I mean, with his power. But you know, Joshua has to hit him, Phil. He has to hit him. And you know, Usyk is, you know, if Andy Ruiz was elusive for the first couple of rounds, Usyk's definitely going to be elusive, and that's frustrating for Joshua. And I'll be honest with you, yeah, this is a really threat that he could hurt Joshua, but you know, he doesn't have to have that like real concussive power. You just need to land, even, you know, just land around the chin area. And you know,
Yeah,
Joshua's gonna freeze up.
Is that power really come from cruiserweight to heavyweight? I haven't really.
He's not. The thing is, it's technique. It doesn't. It's just the speed of the technique. You know what I'm trying to say? We're not talking about. See, people talk about power and other things. Their power comes in speed. You know what I mean? Right. With the speed comes the power and the technique. And Usyk is very proficient in his technique. And you know what I mean? Even though I'm talking it up, right? Even though I'm talking up, I'm saying Usyk has a real good chance to think. But I think I agree with you. It could be a fight that most people want to see. But you know, but Usyk really at this point, you know, I can't see him bounce on his feet or the balls of his feet. You know what I mean? He's no longer with James Ali Bashir no more. He's a bit more flat-footed. The head movement's still there. A lot of tying up. But if I was Joshua, I'd just let Usyk come forward, you know, tie him up, lean on him, and just try to tire him out into later rounds. Round 10, Joshua should be able to stop him, but Usyk's never been stopped. But like Usyk was like you said, he was a heavyweight gold medalist, and he just was a super heavyweight gold medalist. So they both come in high rank. He's beat everyone at cruiserweight. Joshua's only got like two more main opponents that he needs to face. So this is a world caliber, first class fight. And for the purist, I guess, you know, you're gonna get a real good fight. You should get a real good fight. But I think at this point, Usyk's a bit older. His timing might be a bit off. So I'm gonna go with Joshua, who's a bit more slow and a bit more methodical at this point in time. So I'm gonna go with Joshua. 10th round stoppage.
Hey, can let me add this too. So I was looking at I remember the Gassiev versus Usyk fight. Did you guys see that Usyk threw like 939 total punches in that fight? So it's like Anthony Joshua, if he fights Anthony Joshua like that, like how does Anthony Joshua deal with that punch volume? Because that's almost like a Joe Calzaghe. Yeah, that's like Joe Calzaghe type of numbers.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot, bro. There's a lot of
that's
punches.
a lot.
It's a lot. But I think if you throw that many punches in that way, he gonna tire himself up because he's bulked up. As you bulk up, you become more
Yeah,
slower. So, but I
exactly.
agree with you. He does throw a lot of punches, but remember again, he's going against guys that he had the size advantage. You know what I mean? Them guys, they're around his size, and I think he had the length in the arm reach, and he was a bit taller than some of them guys. This is the opponent who's a live guy. Like, but you think is, I reckon they took this fight because they see Joshua. He looks frail a bit because after maybe they had Ruiz and his boxing. So I think they push for this issue. But at this point in time, this is the most livest guy in my opinion since Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I mean? He's a very intriguing fight, and a lot of questions to Usyk and his opponents. But I think Eddie Hearn put them opponents because Eddie Hearn promotes Usyk. He put them opponents in front of him to make Usyk look bad and to bring down his stock. And a lot of people are invested in the way Usyk looked recently, but I'm not invested in that because I know Eddie Hearn put these guys in there to make him look bad. But Usyk's a very dangerous live opponent. You know what I mean? He's serious. He's about his business. He's very confident he's going to bring the belts home.
Yeah, it also depends what Anthony Joshua comes. Do we get the Incredible Hulk Anthony Joshua who got sparked up by Ruiz, or do we get the trim, the lean, the quick Anthony Joshua that was in the Ruiz rematch? So it all depends, to be honest with you. I think if the Incredible Hulk version comes in, then I think that works into Usyk's advantage, to be honest with you.
He's a bit slower. That's what you're saying. Dwayne, what's going on, Dwayne Jones? What's going on, bro? See, Dwayne has jumped in. Dwayne, you're on mute, bro. You're gonna have to mute yourself, Dwayne, because Dwayne's a big AJ fan. You know what I'm saying? And my man Khan, you're a big Fury fan. Before Dwayne comes in, hey Khan, so what's your take on the breakdown with Fury and AJ? Be real quick before Dwayne jumps in.
To be honest with you, I think that what's his promoter's name now? Bob Arum. I think he's handled it in a really shit way. To be honest with you, mind my French. I think obviously since the last Fury Wilder fight, I think there's been a lot of money and hype going to Fury now, so the Americans have recognized him properly. And I think that's kind of thrown them off guard a little bit, to be honest with you. Ultimately, I think I blame Bob Arum. I think they should have. Contracts are contracts at the end of the day, man. You have to honor them. It would have been nice to see that AJ Fury was actually willing to go to that. To be honest, I was looking at tickets to go to Saudi Arabia, everything. I thought it would be good, but you have to put Deontay Wilder to sleep. Now it's just all the time for talk is over, all the hype. Now it's just he has to finish the job and then move on to AJ. It's disappointing. Don't get me wrong, very disappointing. I wanted to really see a fight, but Bob Arum should have handled it in a better way, more professional way. I think they thought Wilder was done. There's no point there, but if you've got contracts in place, man. That's it.
You don't think it was Eddie Hearn's fault, nah?
I don't think so. From what I've seen, Eddie Hearn did everything he could, and I don't really like Eddie Hearn personally. Like, not on a personal level. I think just obviously as a fan sort of thing, I don't really like Eddie Hearn, to be honest with you, but he handled it quite well. He made it clear what the negotiations were, what the dates were, everything. You could see on Fury's side, Bob Arum wasn't really saying much. There was something there, and I think the fans, we should have known. We should have known what was going on. Eddie Hearn made it very clear what was happening, what its plans of what the intentions were. And I just think it's a major cock up from Bob Arum and Frank Warren. To be honest with you, I think Frank Warren's been left in the dark now. I think he's just there to look good. But I guarantee if it was Frank Warren only handling it, I reckon that fight would have been done. But I think people in America, they got too involved. Again, Bob Arum lost his marbles, man. He should be chilling now, retiring. But they say money walks, money talks, man.
What you say in 70? Are we saying 74? What do you think about the situation between Fury and AJ and the breakdown?
That was an interesting situation, man. It was kind of weird. So, like the one gentleman said earlier, Tyson Fury was under contract with Deontay Wilder to have a third fight. The biggest thing was honoring the contract. That was the biggest issue, was just honoring the contract. It's crazy about the situation Tyson Fury got in, signing with ESPN And if I'm not mistaken, ESPN had like an exclusive deal with Bob Arum to where anyone that signed with ESPN was basically on the top ranked promotions. So that was just a weird contract in itself. But I mean, they tried to make the fight, it didn't work out. So it didn't work out for now. And hopefully, whoever the winner is between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, hopefully we get to see we get to see the winner between Usyk and Joshua, fight the winner between Wilder and Fury. I mean, this is something that the fans want. Honestly, man, as I'm a boxing fan at the end of the day, and all that matters to me is that the best fight the best. I don't care who it is. So if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder again, then he deserves a match against Anthony Joshua. If Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury, then he deserves a match. He deserves a match against Anthony Joshua. If this third fight is supposed to be, if that's supposed to be it. Yeah. So that's all we want to see, man. At the end of the day, the best fight the best. I don't care who the undisputed champion is, as long as it's the best guy.
I agree. And for us in the UK, hopefully it's one of the guys in the UK. Dwayne, have you saw that? Dwayne, have you saw that your mic?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Dwayne. What's going on? Long time. How you been, bro?
I'm good, bro. What are you saying?
I'm all right, bro. So get me. So talk, Dwayne. Talk. You're a big age. Go ahead.
You know it's that time. That's why I'm here. My guy's fighting. It's that time. You see, I was MIA for like 8 months. Now my man's back. You know what I mean?
Talk your piece. Go ahead.
So basically, listen, I agree with what the last guy said, and obviously we want the best to fight the best as boxing fans, innit? But then, we got cowards out there. You know what I'm saying? We got cowards out there. We got people like Tyson Fury who don't want to make a title defense. That's basically forced into making a title defense with an arbitration because this guy don't want to defend no title. You know what I'm saying? Every time he wins, he just wants to run off. Like, nah, we're not doing that. You're going to fight Wilder and you're going to have to win again. You know what I'm saying? If you want the King AJ. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is what we're going to say. Now, with AJ and Usyk here, I ain't going to lie, I'm a bit nervous, I'm a bit nervous, fam. I'm not going to lie, fam. Because Usyk, he's just one of them guys you can't read. You can't read him. Like, what I'm saying, his persona and everything. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't mind taking a points victory, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind taking a points victory. It don't have to be a knockout thing. We just got to take the points victory and move on, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, winning is all that matters. Just got to win. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to win, and then we're just going to move on to the next one. That's what we're going to do. So Tyson Fury needs to stop running. Deontay Wilder, obviously, you know what I'm saying, he got his arbitration out, calling it. So now them two have to fight. And then obviously the winner will fight AJ. We've got to make it happen. I don't want to hear Eddie Hearn and his excuses. This guy's already jumped to the zone and that to make their excuses. That's why I want AJ to just run the thing by himself. Because really and truly, it's Eddie Hearn that's getting in AJ's ear, bro. There's that, you got to think of the financials. The fans don't care about financials, bro. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the best fight the best. Look how long it took Terence Crawford to make the deal with what's his name, Sean Porter. It's a joke thing. Boxing's moving crazy. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm just saying I got AJ winning either late stoppage or points victory for that one. Wilder versus Fury. To be honest, I really don't care. I really don't care whoever wins because whoever wins is gonna get smoked by AJ anyway. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, with boxing, at the end of the day, with boxing, we just gotta. To be honest, they make us fans feel irrelevant because what we want, they don't give. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, that's my call, innit? But shout out to everybody on the panel, innit?
Well, you bouncing because I think Carl might have something to say, because Carl's a Fury fan.
I'm here, bro. I'm here, man. I'm here.
Go ahead, Carl.
No, at the end of the day, the Fury situation, do you think he really wants to fight Wilder? Deontay who, bro? Deontay who? Really, I remember last time I was on your show, was that guy Dante Rodriguez giving it the big and was in this group saying, "Oh yeah, Tyson Fury ain't gonna win nothing. This and that. He's shit. This and that." But what happened? I told these mans twice. It happened. What happened? I even made a bet with one guy. Yeah, I made a bet with $800 bet. What happens? Guy ghosts, bro. Ghosts. Look, at the end of the day, like Tyson Fury says, Tyson Fury's the name and fighting's the game, my friend. Do you know what I mean? This guy's born and bred from fighting. And I'm not gonna disagree that the Fury and AJ fight is the one that needs to happen, man. Do you know what I mean? That's a 50-50 fight. God knows what's gonna happen, but yeah, we just gotta get this useless spaghetti leg man Wilder out of the way. Do you know what I mean? People who thought he was like amazing.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. We gotta get Wilder out of the way in it, because obviously, man wants to hold on in it. Like he didn't want to take his beating like a man. He wanted to make a bunch of excuses in it. Like, I don't respect that. I agree.
You know, I'm in the same situation. I'm a bit nervous, you know, like with the Fury fight as well. Like seeing the improvements, but I don't know again if that's.
Oh, you talking about with the new trainer? You talking about the new trainer Malik, right?
It's not even about Malik, to be honest with you. Just the way Wilder's looking. At least he's throwing combos now and looking a bit more sharp. I don't know if that's just like.
Do you believe, hey Carl, let me ask you a question. You believe Fury had COVID, pulled out? You believe that?
Yeah, I believe that. No, the other thing I think was the ticket sales. I think nobody wants to see Wilder and Fury anymore, to be honest with you, because that hype's gone now, isn't it? In America, they all had like, oh yeah, Deontay Wilder's next heavyweight contender. He's our man. He's the American heavyweight. I think that buzz has gone now for Deontay Wilder. I don't think anyone's buying tickets, to be honest with you.
Well, let me ask 74. He's the only American on the panel, boy. It's the pugilist. What do you think, bro? What you got to take on that? What's your take about Wilder? Wilder's gone. No one wants to see that. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. So if Deontay Wilder, if he wins like in an impressive fashion, then that will bring into question, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a chemist. I don't know what happened during that fight. I don't know if Tyson Fury spiked the water, right? I don't know. None of us know. I mean, I'm just being serious here. So, however, if Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury, then people can question. So what? So I understand that this happened in this fight. However, if Deontay Wilder gets dominated, if he loses, then that's going to make his entire story, excuse, whatever. It's going to make it look. It's going to make him look really bad. I mean, it's going to make him look even worse, because it's like already. Deontay Wilder is not getting a lot of love from the American media. Like when you talk about the legacy media, like ESPN and Fox, Fox Sports, he's not getting a lot of love from them. So if he loses to Tyson Fury, and if he gets dominated, if he gets humiliated, then it's going to make his story look like complete rubbish. So he has to win. So and honestly, I think both of them are in a situation where they have to win. As far as the ticket sales are concerned, honestly, in my opinion, they're not doing a whole lot to try to promote the fight. I mean, I don't see a whole lot. So I don't see a whole lot of promotion here in the States. And I have been trying to look around, but haven't been seeing a lot. I saw like a kind of like almost like a Showtime documentary or whatever on Fox. So I did see that, but I haven't seen a whole lot else.
Yeah. So what you saying? There's no love for Wilder over there. Like, so
no, it's love for Wilder. I mean, people love Deontay Wilder. I mean, of course, I'm an American. I'm a boxing fan, and of course, just like you guys over there in the UK, I would like to see the title be in the States. Deontay Wilder at this moment seems like the only chance of the United States getting a heavyweight title over, back over here. If he's not able to get it, then it may be a long time, and until we're able to see another. But if the thing is, if, like I said, I'm a boxing fan at the end of the day. If Joshua and Fury, like, it's all about the best fighting the best. So if Joshua and Fury, if they end up becoming undisputed, that's fine with me too. Just as long as we actually have someone who is the best heavyweight in the world who's champ. It can be Dillian White. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You know, Effie or Jogba, it can be any of those guys. It doesn't matter. It's just as long as we have someone that we know are the best.
That's good. Well, I'm looking at an undercard, right? I thought the undercard was full of heavyweights, but I got Campbell Hatton fighting some bum. I got who's this guy? I got Maxine, what's it? Pardon versus Florian Marco. Callum Smith versus this guy Leo Castillo. Laura Sicoli. Yo, where's all that? I swear there was Frank Sanchez and all these heavyweights on the card. They ain't there no more. Like, what happened? Eddie Hearn.
No.
Go ahead.
No, Eddie Hearn, bruv. Eddie Hearn, you see all them guys there, yeah? All them man on little checks, innit? So why do you think whenever AJ fight the undercard's not really stacked like that, bro? It's because obviously they got to pay the guys, the big guns, innit? So
when they first came out, brother, like they was advertising that the whole heap of it was just heavyweights. And I'm looking on the card, where they all gone? They've all disappeared, bro. Like
that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. They're trying to feed the big men, bro. That's what I'm saying. And one thing I was gonna say, yeah, the reason why I'm not really worried about Wilder versus Fury is because I think the reason why Wilder's knockout ratio and punches were how can I say his knockout ratio was so high is because he put everything into. He was a single shot thrower. He was never a combination thrower. So he put when he threw the right hand, he'd throw it with like power, just straight power behind it. Remember, Wilder only had 2 punches in his arsenal. He had a jab and he had the right hand coming over the top. That's all he had. He didn't have a left hook. He didn't have a right hook. He didn't have an uppercut. He didn't really have none of that. Even the uppercut he knocked down. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The uppercut he knocked down Ortiz with didn't even look like a proper uppercut. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really have those punches. Now, the reason why I'm not really worried is because now he's going to throw combination punches. He's not going to be putting maximum effort into those punches. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to have knockout effect. Do you understand?
Yeah, so but he's doing when he gets clapped, yeah, he's gonna go back to that. That's all he knows. So he can practice all that stuff. Him and Malik can practice all that bullshit they're doing because that stuff ain't like you said. This is the heavyweight division. We ain't trying to box. Like Malik. If that was the case, Malik should have beat Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? That never helped him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never. And Fury said it the best. Yeah, there's maybe the only guy where I beat up on the trainer and beat the fighter. You know what I mean?
Fury though, he's a really, really difficult matchup. Like, I mean, that dude, like, honestly, Fury is a genetic freak, man. I mean, when you really think about it, like, this dude is 6'9". Yeah. He's 270 pounds. He has an 85-inch reach. And then the way this dude moves, like, I mean, he's fast. He got fast hands. He had fast feet. He got really good footwork. He has really good head movement and upper body movement. Like, I mean, that dude is, I mean, that's like he's an anomaly in the heavyweight division. It's like I really haven't seen anybody like him.
But you know, the situation is,
and the one thing I noticed, yeah, when he fought Wilder the second time, Wilder couldn't deal with Fury's feints. Fury's feints kept throwing Wilder off.
Yo, you talk about the jab when he had the jab. He had the jab out. Yeah. He put the jab. He blinded him, and he's throwing that straight right behind it, and he got the southpaw going on. Yeah, he brought his A game. I was talking to one of the sparring partners at the time. I was talking to George Fox. He's Don Charles' son. And he was saying that when he got in the sparring, he was surprised that, Fury doesn't hit that hard. And they wasn't impressed. And they said one day they came in and he put a beating on one of the sparring partners and bashed him all around the place. He was like, yo, because I think when he came in, Fury has these mood swings where some days he just loses the attention span to just do the job. Sometimes he's like, I can't be bothered. But when he turned up, he bring the fight. Now, against Wilder, he turned up. With Javon Hill told him, look, he ain't know that. Let's go straight for him. And Wilder wasn't expecting that. I think when you see that Wilder's eyes, like, what's going on here? I just knock this guy down. He should be scared of me. And he's like, I don't care about that shit. Come, we gonna fight. And then Fury rolled up on him and gave it. That's why Wilder's actually trying to be Fury. Wilder's going in there. He gonna
You know
try.
what? A lot of people
Go
forget
ahead.
that Tyson Fury, right? These gypsies, they're from a fighting background. This guy's probably seen fights from the age of 3, 4, going every weekend to the caravan site and seeing people
Yeah.
get smashed to pieces. So people seem to forget this guy didn't just come into boxing at 15, 16 years old. This guy was molded into a fighting family. His dad is a ruthless one as well. If you see John Fury, you know what I mean? He's proper molded his son, put the fighting. Thing is, not just about boxing. He's got the fighting mentality in there as well. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people underestimate that as well and forget that Fury is a fighting man. He's not a
So why does
boxer.
he
He's a
keep
fighter.
vacating the belts, man? Why do you keep vacating the
Because you know
belts
what it
every
is?
time?
Look, he wins the belts, goes on mad benders, gets on an alcohol thing, gets on a coke thing, and then
Yeah,
says,
he
"Fuck
does.
it, do you know what?
I
I've
ain't
done
gonna
it
lie.
all."
I ain't
But
gonna
look,
lie. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I respect Fury, yeah, but that's just a bunch of excuses to me, bro. That just sounds like a bunch of excuses. My man, yeah. The reason why is because, listen, if you noticed, yeah, the only guy he rematched was a guy who don't know how to box. If you really deep it, bro. He fought
So Derek
Klitschko, he won
Zora.
the thing, yeah. Bro, can Derek Zora box? Are we being serious?
So
He,
I have a question for you guys. You don't think that Tyson Fury, like one of the things that Tyson Fury doesn't want to do, uh, is that he doesn't want to be oppressed by these organizations, because it's like, look at what these organizations has done to these boxers. Like, look at what the WBO, WBA, IBF, WBC, look at what they've done. And I mean, it's like for years, for as long as I can remember, these different sanctioning bodies being out there. I mean, we've rarely seen undisputed champions. It's
but
been
bro,
rare
he's
occasions.
he's
Like, yeah.
he's won every
Well,
single belt: the English belt, Irish belt, Commonwealth. He's won every single belt there is, and it means nothing to him, to be honest. Why? Obviously, I've heard about these things. Obviously, if they sanctioning fees, this and that.
listen,
To
I
be honest
don't
with you, a
believe
guy
that.
like Tyson Fury is unpredictable, bro. If he
You
sort
you
of
pay,
kick,
you pay these organizations to have their belt. You pay them a sanctioning fee, but then they rule over you. They're telling you who
all
you
right.
can and who you can't fight.
All right. What about the British belt though? Because he vacated it because he didn't fight David Price. David Price beat him in the David Price
Yeah,
beat him in the Olympics
yeah.
qualifier, and David Price was there. And then he said, "I don't want the British belt. I want the Irish belt." Right? Then he went and got the Irish belt, and then Derek Zora went and got the European, and then he rematched Derek to get that. So a lot of the times, yeah, Fury. The last guy to beat him was David Price, right? But he ain't a rearrange that. Then look, Fury's been. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you that he's been well matched. He worked his way up and beat Vladimir Klitschko. He beat Deontay Wilder, and he got forced into this rematch. Let's get it. He didn't want to fight Wilder, man. He wanted to fight AJ, and the only reason why that's gone through is because Wilder forced the issue. You know what I mean? And that's why people think Wilder's got a chance. Now, everyone's blowing it under the thing, say Wilder ain't got a chance, right? Maybe he hasn't got a chance, but he's earned the right that he was a long reigning WBC champion, and he's earned the right to get a chance to fight back for his belt. Fury didn't want to give him a rematch. You know what I mean? He wanted to go straight into the AJ fight and not give the man. Look, Wilder gave him a voluntary. Fury wasn't ranked in the WBC. In fact, Fury wasn't doing anything. Wilder said, "Look, clean yourself up, fight a couple of guys, anything." So and then Fury should honor that. That's why Wilder's so upset with Fury that he didn't honor it back. But the bottom line is they're gonna fight. And they should have a good fight, but Wilder, I don't, it's hard to see how Wilder's going to win the fight. You know what I mean? If you go on the front foot, Fury's your man. If you go on the back foot, Fury's your man. You know what I mean? For punching power, you might have that, but it's hard to hit a man who doesn't stand there, innit? So,
bro, look, to be honest, as soon as he adopted that Kronk style from Sugar Hill, Fury is a dangerous mofo, bro. The first fight, all right, he was boxing him, but the second fight, he fought the guy and he battered him. He came forward. That was a scary dude, bro.
yeah, it was intimidating. Yeah, it was.
It was intimidating. Like, and obviously, that crushes somebody's confidence. I just don't.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's heavyweight boxing. Wilder's still got that chance, that one punch, and obviously, I'll be honest with you, Malik Scott for me is dog shit. To be honest with you, no offense to anyone, but I mean, you can't have a guy train you who you've battered. already.
Yeah, he's a confidence man. Malik's a confidence man. You know, he be saying all kinds of stuff and that, but really and truly, like, you know, a lot of you know, no one, you know, a lot of guys talking and stuff like that. But you know, but maybe that's what Barbada seems to me. He likes yes men right now. I mean, you how like let me talk to man 74. How do you throw away man like Mark Breland and then you replace him with Malik who's just an average heavyweight? Go ahead, talk on that.
You know, that's a good question, man. Honestly, I'm not really a big Mark Breland fan. I thought that, you know, there was a lot of people in Deontay Wilder's camp that wasn't good for him. I mean, honestly, I didn't think, I don't know what type of role Mark Breland played, but I know right now, I mean, I don't necessarily think that JD's is a good fit for him too, but I think that Deontay Wilder is, I think that he's loyal. And I've mentioned this before. I've mentioned this in other streams and other videos. I just think that, you know, Deontay Wilder, I personally think that Deontay Wilder is a good boxer. I think that he has a decent boxing IQ. I just think that Tyson Fury was a bad matchup for him. I mean, you know, you have some guys, you know, I mean, you can be a really good boxer, you can be a really solid puncher, but sometimes, man, it's just another boxer that has your number. And that's what it could possibly be, that, you know, where Tyson Fury just has his number. I don't think it makes Deontay Wilder a bum or anything. And you know, when fighters lose, man, look at Oscar De La Hoya. When Oscar De La Hoya lost to Felix Trinidad, he got rid of Alcazar, and Alcazar was his trainer for a long time. And Oscar De La Hoya, every time he lost, he got rid of trainers. So it's pretty common for boxers, when they lose, especially their first loss, you know, they get rid of trainers. I mean, it's a common thing that we see in boxing.
They're making excuses though, eh? They can't take it. They can't take it, right?
Well, I mean, think about it, man. Boxers are not like us, man. They're competitors, and so of course, a boxer is going to probably say that it's not my fault while I lost. You know, it's, you know, this person gave me bad advice. This person, we were training on this when we should have been training on that. I mean, this guy just isn't a fit for me. It's a whole bunch of stuff, man. But boxers typically, you know, they'll, like Oscar De La Hoya blamed the judges, then he blamed his trainer, then he blamed the network. So it's stuff like that happens in boxing. I mean, it's not uncommon. This isn't the first time. It won't be the last time we see something like this.
But 74 as well. What I want to say to you as well is that when you look at all of Deontay Wilder's fights, okay, Fury is the only one in terms of size that's actually, you know, that he's fought someone his size. Everyone else has been, you know, smaller.
Nah, Brazil was big. Brazil was pretty big, and so was the Harpers. Dominic Brazil and the Harpers, they were pretty big.
Yeah, but you know, Dominic Brazil was already, in my opinion, done after that AJ fight. To be honest with you, that's why I just think that was, in my opinion, I think that was just a payday for Dominic Brazil.
Ortiz is a big guy. Ortiz is a big guy. But go ahead.
Nah, if you look at Brazil versus Wilder, Brazil was scared of Wilder before that fight.
Yeah, but
he was afraid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Fury. Sorry, but you was going. Go ahead, Con. Talk. You were saying. Go ahead.
I tell you what, there's one question. Do you think, obviously, look, with the Fury fight, the excuses, okay, the tainted water, the entrance kit or whatever, the attire, the gloves and all that, do you think that has, or that's tarnished Deontay Wilder's legacy, or, you know, his American fans? Because, you know, if he put up his hand and said, okay, look, I lost to a better man that night, do you feel like the American public would have more, you know, more respect, more love for him? Because, you know, I kind of feel like he's damaged his legacy a little bit, you know, with all his excuses. And again, if he gets smashed next month, you know, I think there's no coming back for Deontay Wilder. So obviously, look, from an American point of view, I just want to know what your views on that.
So let me be completely honest with you. So just being completely honest, for both people, for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, I'm suspicious of both of them. So Tyson Fury being, you know, coming from the gypsy background, Tyson Fury, who has a reputation for being a dirty boxer. I mean, you really can't put anything past a person that's willing to do anything to win. Secondly, but also when you think about someone like Deontay Wilder, this being his first loss, you know, he could be making excuses, but also he could be telling the truth. So, like I said earlier, we don't know. We don't have all the answers. We don't know what took place that night. So, but whatever happens in this fight, you know, it's gonna probably like remove any type of suspicion. Like if Deontay Wilder gets dominated by Tyson Fury, then chances are most people are going to say, man, that whole story about his water being tainted and he got poisoned and he was weak, he got drugged, man, that was some garbage. You know, that was some BS.
Curse. That was the best one, the gypsy curse.
But then if Tyson Fury loses, if Deontay Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury, then people may start questioning the night, you know, of February 2020. You know, some people may start questioning it. Like I said, me right now, I don't know. I don't know what happened that night. You know, there's suspicions on both sides, and I'm just going to be completely honest and transparent with you guys. Like whenever someone tells you something, man, you know, oftentimes even when people lie, there's some truth to it, and that's what makes the lie seem believable. So and George Foreman, he even said that he got drugged before. So I mean, it's not uncommon, you know, of boxers complaining about getting drugged. You know, Ali said Sonny Liston put liniment on his gloves. So we don't know. That's all I'm saying.
But if all the wins, is there going to be a 4 fight? Do you guys reckon? It has to be, right?
Of course, bruv. Because he needs to chat. The thing is, Fury was the reigning unified champion, right? And he never lost the belt in the ring. Wilder was the WBC champion. Even Vladimir didn't get that. So Fury challenged him, got his belt. It's by right to the man to get his title shot to get a chance to get his belt back. You know what I mean?
BG London says the boxing fans would turn on the loser. I agree with that 100%. That's what I believe. What BG London said in the comments, he said that the boxing fans will turn on a loser. So if Deontay Wilder loses, then that's going to definitely hurt him in the United States.
I don't think so. I think people don't like him anyway. So it ain't gonna change nothing. They don't like Fury. Some people don't like Fury. Some people don't like them. I think people continue. But the excuses and all the talking and them things there about the water, about the gloves, about the egg weight and all that stuff there. It builds up into the gypsy curse. You know, Wilder coming in with the costume. All it builds up to is it's like, bro, like it's just building the fight. You know what I mean? Like I really want to see it because I feel like a man should get his title shot again. And you know, if Fury goes in there and whacks Wilder, then that's that. There's no need for another other fight after that. But if Wilder waxes him, they should probably have a 4 fight. Manny Pacquiao and Marquez had a 4 fight, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling we're not going to see undisputed. Someone's going to get upset, whether it's Fury or whether it's AJ. I just got a feeling in my gut that we're not going to see any undisputed anytime soon. Or any AJ versus Fury. I just don't think it's going to happen.
It'll be a huge mistake. It'll be a huge mistake for the fighters, for the promoters, and for the networks because they're going to be looking to make a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't mind the 4 fight. I don't mind a 4 fight. Like when it comes down to undisputed and all them things, they're like Josh Taylor's undisputed. No one really cares. I remember Terence Crawford's undisputed. No one really cares. Like, you know what I mean? All it means is like you need to come see me. I'm the man. You know, that's all it means, right? But you know the thing is you can't duck. That's the thing when you're like that, you can't duck the number 1 contenders. No, Marvin Hagler, you know, had to get a politician to get himself a title shot, and after that, he had all comers come against him. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? When you become undisputed, for me, that's the start. Fury's already saying if he comes undisputed, he's just gonna throw the belts and retire. David Hayes is the same bullshit. I'm not down with it. I want someone to win the belts. I don't want to see them, you know, defend the belts in a proper manner. And Wilder was doing that. You know what I mean? Wilder was doing it. He had like certain defenses, whether people thought they were stiffs or whatever. The bottom line is that AJ fight fell through. He got Fury. Fury beat him. Now he's going back in there again. This is like the 3rd fight, whatever. But I want to see these guys like, you know, history, like when you talk about the guys in the past, the Lennox Lewis's and stuff like that, you know, he didn't get the fight with Riddick Bowe, but you want to see the best fight the best. But if they don't, you know, hey, listen, I just look for them to look to the next division. Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao didn't get through. By the way, Manny Pacquiao's retired, I heard today. So, hey, Manny Pacquiao, man, you done great for our sport. You know what I mean? And it's time for you to sit down and, you know, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? So, salute to Manny Pacquiao, but you know, Fury, people question Fury about title. Eddie Hearn, how can he question Tyson Fury? And we've got both in common. We've never defended a title. I was like, how can he?
That was I'm gonna say something controversial. Do you blame Tyson Fury for throwing away the belts and retiring if he do become undisputed? Because don't we oftentimes see boxers when they've reached their peak, you know, they're not hungry anymore. So it's like if Tyson Fury, if someone wins the belt and they retire, like, can you really blame them? Because it's like at that, they've already proven themselves. It's like now they're fighting for the money. And we've seen time and time again, money is not, we saw with Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort, that money is not a motivating factor for you to continue fighting.
That was a bad matchup because he wasn't supposed to fight him. He was a short notice opponent. He was supposed to fight De La Hoya. De La Hoya like cowardly jumped out, and Evander, you know, manly stepped up. Evander should have never went against that. He should have kept on against McBride, and he would have probably won that fight. But that was a bad matchup. I don't think he trained for that fight, and that's why he wants the rematch. That's what Evander's mentality is like, yo. Okay, I'll fight him again. You know what I mean? No one wants to see that. But the thing is, he wasn't prepared to fight that guy. And they'll probably lose against him again, by the way, because stylistically, he never wanted to fight him. But this is what comes down to this fight. Tyson Fury throwing the belt. Yeah, I blame him for throwing the belts in the way because that's not champions of the history that I used to watch. I don't want to see a guy win the belt and throw it away. Now, listen to this, right? When he beat Vladimir Klitschko, I was so happy when he beat Vladimir Klitschko. But what happened? I interviewed him like shortly after, and he wanted to have a rematch with Vladimir. And Vladimir was on the mindset is though I'm gonna wait until Fury starts binging and eating and drinking, and then I'm gonna make the rematch. But Fury said, no, we ain't gonna do that. How about these apples? And I said to him, why don't you just throw the belts away? I said it to him when I interviewed him. I go, you should just throw the belts away. And you know, you're still the linear champion. And I'm not saying he listened to me, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that's what he did. Like he said, I'm still the champion who beat this guy and beat that guy. I threw the belts away and stuff and so forth. So I'm saying like that he can still walk around and say that, right? But the thing is, the bottom of the matter is that when you look at him in the ranking of all the other heavyweights, where does he stand? Not too highly. I mean, you got Vladimir and Wilder, yeah, both reigning, but boy, who did Vladimir win to get his belts? You know what I mean? No one, Vladimir didn't win no one. He got a vacant belt and he beat all comers, but he never had no real big standout opponent until Fury and AJ came along. You know what I mean? And you know, he lost against both of them, you know what I'm saying? And Lennox Lewis, he didn't get that fight with him. He lost against Corey Sanders, Brewster, but Fury is in rare air right now. He, like you said, Khan, he said every single belt. He's rematching Deontay Wilder, the man he beat. So he's in some good air. So why would you not cement your legacy and defend the undisputed belt if you was to win that? Go ahead, Carl.
To be honest, I don't see AJ or Fury, whether they become undisputed, I don't see them defending the belts, especially with the monsters that are coming up. You've got Joe Joyce, you've got Daniel Dubois. I don't see AJ or Fury fighting any of them, to be honest with you, because it's a new chapter now, a new era is coming. You know, you've got the Joe Joyces in the back, you've got the Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? You've got all these people in the background coming up now. And like I said, I'm a huge Fury fan, huge. I just don't think that I don't think he's going to defend it. I think in his mindset is, look, my mind was when all the world titles become undisputed, I've done what I need to do. Let's get back to the pub, have a few pints, have a couple of lines, call it a day.
Have a couple of lines.
That's real.
But think about it though. Think about it though. A heavyweight champion. I mean, that's the most prestigious title, and you're undisputed. And all you're going to be doing for the remainder of your career till you retire is fight mandatories. So once you become undisputed, you've hit your ceiling. It's like, so after that, you know, all you're going to be doing for the remainder of your career is fighting mandatories. What makes a fight big is that you're fighting someone who the fans feel is credible, like that the fighter has a chance of beating you. Remember when Mike Tyson was undisputed? I mean, like everyone who he fought were bums, in our opinion. So I guess that's like my, I'm being the devil's advocate right now, but that's like my argument.
But
Yeah.
if these guys look, they come undisputed, right? Say they become, they start defending against mandatories. What if that mandatory sparks one of them out, AJ or Fury? That legacy is kind of tarnished then. Do you know what I mean? Then age plays into a factor. Do you know what I mean? They're both like what, early 30s. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. If I was in Fury shoes, I'd just like get undisputed and get out of there, because you've got some monsters coming up. Again, you've got the Joe Joyces, you've got the Daniel Dubois, and you know what I mean. You can risk your legacy as well over a man, like you said, mandatory bums, guy you never heard of, just coming out pulling off the upset. Bang, the
And
legacy
then on
building
top
in the
of that,
background.
Fury is getting older. Like most boxers, what age do they start to peak? What age do they start to
36,
like
36 and done.
lose their? Yeah, it's
Well, I don't like.
Perfect
I don't like the.
example, Joe Calzaghe. Calzaghe got in there. He knew at that time when he fought Bernard Hopkins that if I fight Kelly Pavlik, Carl Froch, it could end my game. Let me go out on top.
He
That's
should
what
have fought them, but you know the thing is, yeah,
I think he
I
would have
hear
won.
what you're saying. Look, he got in Hall of Fame by beating Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, right? And you know, 20 defenses of the super middleweight title. But I don't sit there and watch Dojo Kazagi. Like I watch Carl Froch though. I watch Carl Froch because Carl Froch to me is done how it's supposed to done. He went to America
Yeah.
and he beat people. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I see things. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Fury going against Wilder, I mean he's already there. Like, you know what I mean, he goes in and does a job on Wilder. They does a job on AJ. I guess there's nothing else for him to. I guess if you put it that way, there's nothing else for him to do. But I just like guys defending the belt. But I guess he is because he'll be defending.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, he'll be defending the WBC belt against Wilder. That will be his first world title defense, and then he'll be defending against AJ, and that's a unification. So you know that's it. Let me ask. Go ahead.
You're gone. No, it's like,
I was
for
gonna
example, on UFC, if you watch UFC, for example, I'm a big UFC fan as well. When a guy wins the belt and defends it between 3 to 5 times, he's considered one of the greatest, like a legend. Oh, he's one of the best. Well, wait, he's one of the best. So and so. So I think that mentality as well needs to be crossed over into boxing as well. If you defend your belt 3 to 5 times against good opponents, do you know what I mean? You've done your bit, and that's it. All a day.
What do you mean? So Wilder should get, on that respect, Wilder should get credit, isn't it? Hey, no one's giving him credit, though.
Look, Wilder's well respected. He always has been well respected. You know what I mean? But I just, again, he went against Fury.
They were saying these opponents are bums, man. They were saying these opponents.
Well, speaking of undisputed champs, look at what happened to Lennox. Look what almost happened to Lennox Lewis. And some people even question Lennox Lewis's legacy because he fought Klitschko, he fought Vitaly Klitschko, beat him, you know, stop Vitaly Klitschko, and then people were questioning Lennox Lewis's legacy because they was like, you know, Klitschko almost beat him. Like,
yeah, that was
Larry
Merchant. Yeah, Larry. He was winning on the scorecard, so I understand where they were coming from. But Lennox Lewis never prepared, and that's another one. It was a short notice opponent. But let's bring in YG Knight. What's up, YG? All the way from New York.
What's going on, fellas? I mean, I was just sitting back and listening. I seen like one person in the chat. They were saying, "Oh, Tyson Fury slowed up the heavyweight division." But I guess that he needs to be reminded that the only reason why Fury got in the picture is because AJ and Wilder didn't sign on the dotted line.
Yeah,
like it's not like them two was gonna make it happen before Fury came along. They was slow dancing it or slow roasting it themselves too. So it's really their fault that this whole situation happened, because they could have made it happen when Fury was on his hiatus.
So is it still the year of the traveler, YG?
It's still the year of the traveler. I mean, you got Wilder winning this next fight. You got Wilder.
We were going to talk about AJ. What's going on, AJ? We gonna get onto that one. We do a breakdown of that one. Hey, YG, who you think's going with Usyk and AJ? Go ahead.
The Usyk, I really got to see. I really got to wait to look to the weigh-in to see how these guys are really gonna look, because these heavyweights, you never really know. Guys come in and they don't really be in shape, or they got nagging injuries that we don't find out until after the fact. So I really want to wait till this Friday to see weigh-in.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Nah.
You're gonna have to make a pick now. You have to make a pick now, and then you could change your pick now. You don't like you don't have to stand. You ain't. Don't try it, YG. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I got AJ 10th round stoppage against Usyk. Give us your pick, and like you don't have to stand on it right now.
10th round stoppage?
Yeah, I want to hear your pick. I want to hear your bullshit.
I guess on Friday people just gonna have to come back in and tune into your show.
Ain't no way. Ain't no. See, why do you think he's smart? Why do you think he's smart? Why do you don't want to commit? Go ahead.
I'll be right back here at the same time, same place on EJ Boxing Live, and y'all hear my pick.
On Friday with the weigh-in.
Smart approach, yeah. Go on, YG, taking the smart approach. I like that.
Yeah, YG.
Nah, yeah, I gotta see.
I just really got YG ducking. Look, see, look at YG ducking. Then look, YG ducking. That's what YG.
I mean, I'm just taking more of a business approach of it, like how Eddie and AJ did when they could have for a while and Ben got the title, but they took a business approach.
All right, okay. You don't want to talk about that. So this, you gonna get all right? If I ask you about Wilder and Fury, you gonna give me that pick? You gonna give me that one, or you gonna wait for the weigh-in on that one as well?
I mean, nah. You know, I'm going for Fury. I got
see,
Fury in that fight.
Why you see out the gate? Why are you picking Fury in that fight? Go ahead.
The jab, the size, head movement, just all around a better boxer. But I mean, we know that Wilder has the power. But other than that, everything else you check off in Fury's column.
Good
choice. Everything.
So why you get knocked down twice then?
Why he got knocked down twice? Because in the first fight he was backing up and letting the power puncher get momentum to hit you. Second fight he smothered the punches and got him out of there.
YG's on point, you know. YG's on point.
Let's not act like we haven't seen people smother power punches, get on the inside, and get them out of there. If you
go ahead,
because I'm about to say, if you give a power puncher a chance to wind up and back you up into a corner and unleash his power, then there's a good chance he's gonna get you out of there. But if you beat him to the punch and you smother their power, they're going to get tired, and then you see the results. I mean, I could go down the list of the fighters that looked just like Wilder, who was knockout punches, and then they got in there with a boxer who smothered their punches and then end up stopping them.
My man in the chat said he got knocked out by Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham put him down. You know what I mean? And he was a cruiserweight.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. Like, when you, after 200 pounds, or if you say after 175, which is light heavyweight, if you hit a guy on the chin or on the temple, you can knock him down. But did Cunningham win the fight?
No, he didn't. Saying that though, that's what Usyk has to do against AJ, right? He has to, take the fight to AJ, right?
Nah, because see, remember we were just talking about that the other day too, and that's why I really want to wait to see how AJ really looked. Did he really lose all that muscle mass and came down and he wants to be like a straight boxer and try to go 12 rounds? Like, that's what I really want to see, because he really got to the title by following up his punches, and when he gets somebody hurt, he get them out of there. But now if he's gonna just go to jab you and try to outbox you route, it's gonna be a little different. Plus he's fighting the southpaw, so that's another monkey wrench in there.
Why just right? So what's you guys hear about the undercard? Franchise. I heard Gerald Anderson was posted on the undercard. There ain't none of them on the undercard, man. That's a lie, man. That's a damn voice lie. I don't know who said that. I don't know. They said Eddie Hearn had them on the undercard. That's not happening. So, 74. You got the zone.
No, that wasn't this. That was that fight you talking about. That's the Wilders in them undercard. That's not AJ's undercard.
Oh, my bad.
You got that wrong. That's the October card.
Oh, okay, that's a great undercard. Hey, 78, 74. You got the zone over there?
Yes.
What you think of the app, man? You think you're getting the money? What's it thing for your buck? What's YG call it? Something for your buck. What's YG say? I can't remember what YG.
Bang for your buck.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Sometimes depending on the fight, sometimes I do. Yeah,
okay.
Just like with Showtime and those other networks, sometimes you do.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, the zone over here, they put the price up. Yeah, because over Khan, you got the zone over there? You got the zone as well, right? Con.
You know, when we missed out on the zone is because
He's gone.
two of their prime fighters didn't fight. Like Ryan Garcia went on a hiatus. So say like of last year, if you would have got the like I did, I got the year prescription for a year. So I kind of missed like if Garcia and then Canelo pushed his fight back. So that's why it kind of diluted it a little bit. But you still got some prime fights. Even next year, if we get the Ortiz fight, if Ortiz step up and he fight somebody a little bit better. I'm talking about Virgil Ortiz, and then we they already booked the Jojo Diaz versus Ryan Garcia. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. There's some good fights coming up. Oh, by the way, if you guys watch Friday, my man, what's his name again? AJ Johnson. Yeah, he passed away, man. I was just shocked, man. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, these dudes be dropping, and like he was born in 1965 as well. You know what I mean? He's 55. Yo, so shout out to him, man. You got knocked the F out, man. Smoke.
Yo, one of my favorite things from him too. A lot of people don't remember, but if y'all go back and watch it, when Snoop Dogg and Eazy-E and them was going back and forth, he was in the he was in both videos. He was in the first he played Eazy-E, and then Eazy-E turned around and put him in his video too.
Oh yeah, you missed the Buster. Where you at? Yo, okay.
Yeah, he was in that. He was in the. He was in the not Dre Day.
No, he was in Dre Day and he was in Real G's with Eazy-E.
Yeah.
But remember what remember what he said. He said that Suge Knight threatened him not to return to the Eazy-E video. So at the end of the Eazy-E video, that wasn't AJ Johnson. he said it was another dude.
Wow, is that how it was? Yeah. Hey, listen, bro, that dude there. Oh man, I didn't know Suge Knight. Yeah, he's very intimidating, boy. But yeah, I couldn't believe. I'm like, man, he ain't even that old. Like, how these dudes? But the thing is with the corona, people putting on weight. I don't know if he had any illnesses. It's a shame, man. So rest in peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, bro. Like, you know what I mean? This is like, this is sad, bro. You know what I mean? It's a sad, but yeah, boxing right now. Listen, we need this fight to light boxing up this weekend. AJ needs to light up. Now, I agree with you, 74. It might be the most, it might not be their side, but AJ 100% always goes for the knockout. You know what I mean? He always try to go for the knockout, especially when he gets you on the hook. He don't let you off. He knocked out Pulev. Most of the guy, he knocked out Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? He knocked down Andy Ruiz, and then he beat him, even though Andy Ruiz stopped him, he came back and out. So he most of the time he go for the knockout. So AJ, this is why AJ is a big ticket seller over here, is in Tottenham Stadium, because AJ goes for the knockout. And it's funny because even though Fury's accomplished more in terms of, going to Germany and stuff, like AJ is the bigger draw. You know what I mean? Over in the UK, he's a much bigger draw than Fury. I think he's just got that corporate look. Women flock at AJ. I just got that appeal.
That's the thing, though, EJ. He done trimmed his body down, and now he might not even be that explosive fighter that he once was. Because that was like we were talking about before.
I don't think how his body,
those knockouts and stuff that you saying that he was catching. That's when he was putting weight behind his punches.
He don't need to do. No, I don't think so, YG, bro. He's a heavyweight, bro. Like, he's a heavyweight. He knocks guys out. That's what he does. You know what I mean? Whether how his body is going to be lined up or is going to be thing, his punch, his arm has still got heavy weight, man. He's still got that packing that TNT. And, if Usyk gets caught, he going to be stunned, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He going to be stunned with them little gloves with AJ putting it on him. But AJ needs to worry about, like, them hooks, because they've seen AJ get hit. You know what I mean? You've seen him when he got hit with Andy Ruiz. You've seen him against Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? So he could be hit, but can he take what AJ's bringing? AJ bringing that TNT, boy. Pop, pop, pop. So we have to find out. It's a great fight. The undercard is whack. You know what I mean? The undercard ain't even worth, like, I ain't even interested. The undercard is actually terrible, bro. So,
but I would say defensively, I would say that Usyk is better defensively than those guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With his movement. See, the only thing that was shaky too, why I would almost want to lean towards AJ winning decision, because Usyk actually takes 3 or 4 rounds to get going. Like I just went back and watched a couple of his fights too. Like he takes a couple rounds to get going. So like he to get his opponent's timing, and then once he get that
Yes,
down,
timing. Yeah. That's
then
what I
he
said.
just
That's
really
why he's been out.
fights.
That's why I agree with you about the timing. That's why I said he's been this is his longest time. He's been forced into this situation where he's been forced. This is over a year. You know what I mean? Over a year into the situation, over because of the corona and obviously the fell through Fury. But he's been forced in a situation where he's a rhythm fighter, where AJ is not necessarily a rhythm fighter. Like AJ, more or less he kind of does what he wants, man. This is a hard fight for Usyk, but yeah, the little guy is gonna give it a go. He ain't that little, but he going,
I know, but
go ahead.
think about what he did to Joe Joyce, man, in World Series of Boxing.
He didn't stop him though. That was
No,
if that was a 12 round, I think Joe Joyce would have got him and banged him though. You know what I mean? I know because he jumped on Joe Joyce early because he's an amateur. But you're right. You're right. He wobbled Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce always gets wobbled. Didn't Daniel Dubois wobble him? You know what I mean? Didn't
Yeah, I was about to say
everyone wobbles Joe Joyce because he's slow. But the thing is, as the rounds go on, he becomes more thingy, and that's the thing about Usyk, right? You know what I mean? Everyone looked on that World Boxing Super Series. They looked on what he did at the cruiserweight. Now, I don't rate some of them cruiserweights he beat. I don't really rate some of them. I don't rate some of them. But he's the undisputed. He was the former undisputed cruiserweight champion, bro. So this is historic though. If he could beat AJ, that's historic for real. That's rare. It's rare that guy come from them weights can just come up and knock out a reigning heavyweight.
I thought that his undisputed run was better than Terrence Crawford's.
Yeah, well, Crawford didn't even defend the belt, did he?
No, but I think Usyk was much better. I think Usyk fought better fighters.
Yeah, well, you see, and that's the point. Yeah, see, both of them are undisputed. Yeah, and you're right. Usyk did, and Josh Taylor did, but it's to me getting to the undisputed is one thing, and now it's cementing your legacy. I think Josh Taylor he wants Tank, and he wants other opponents, but you need a mega fight to solidify yourself for the payday. You know what I mean? That's what you need, and Fury. That's what Fury was trying to do. He's trying to get the big payday with AJ because AJ brings a lot of money, man. Fighting AJ, you just like you hit the lottery, man. It's a lot of money, man. I think
he wanted his payback because AJ was talking all that smack when Fury was out of boxing and he was a bunch of stones. That's all he kept saying to Fury is, "Oh, lose some weight, come down some stones, and I'll fight you." And now, like once he came down, he stopped saying his name.
You saying AJ scared of Fury?
If he was smart.
Yeah.
You talking Jack? You talk. Well, here, Con coming in. Go ahead, Con.
Nah, if it's all about money, man, these guys better just fight Jake Paul, bro, because that just seems like the face of boxing right now, which is fucking ridiculous, bro. The Jake Pauls, bro, and all. Yeah, bro. If these people sell the money, bro, someone just needs to take that lottery ticket, spark him out, and get the end of these YouTubers, bro. It's become a joke, man.
Well, the YouTubers are doing that because the boxing's not making the fights, man.
I know.
Go ahead, 74.
Yeah,
no, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm sorry. I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, boxing, man. I mean, it's so frustrating, man. Like, how many years have we been asking for Crawford versus Spence? How many years have we been asking for Terrence Crawford to fight someone from PBC? How many years have we been asking for Fury versus Joshua versus Wilder? Like, how many years? We've been asking for Canelo versus Charlo. I mean, we've been asking for these fights for years. And because boxing hasn't been delivering, you got these old farts coming out of retirement, man. These old boxers can barely move around the ring, fighting each other, man, on Triller. And you have YouTubers fighting, and boxers want to fight YouTubers. UFC fighters want to fight YouTubers. And so boxing needs to step it up, man, because first of all, they're losing the casual fan base, which is huge, but then they're going to end up losing their hardcore fan base, who influences the casuals, who tells the casuals, watch this fight. This fight is going to be great.
Well, there's no HBO, and Eddie Hearn don't seem like he wants to make the big fights. Josh Warren should have been fighting Gary Russell Jr. In fact, Gary Russell Jr. they took him out the ranking in the Ring magazine. They called him inactive. I was like, how can you do that? He's still the champion. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's some real stupid enough going on in boxing, but if guys don't want to fight each other, they're leaving the pockets open. I watch the YouTubers, man. Jake Paul nearly got his ass bit by Tyron Woodley, though. He lucky. Woodley was about to whoop his ass.
Anderson Silva. He should fight Anderson Silva or Vitor Belfort.
You know that ain't gonna happen. You ain't. He don't want no part of Anderson Silva. Well, Anderson did to Tito Ortiz. He don't want no part of it. Anderson Silva actually pretty good boxer, actually.
Yeah, he just outdone Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah, I watched that fight. Yeah.
But yeah, Tito Ortiz is a joke, man. That shouldn't have happened. Like, I don't want to see these old-time UFC guys in there.
Riddick Bowe's coming back. Riddick Bowe's coming back. You know what I mean? He's got a fight coming up. Everyone's upset about it.
He's going to get battered in Muay Thai. It shouldn't happen, man.
Yeah,
it's a Silva, another southpaw.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for
I just heard, my feelings when someone said to me, Jake Paul is the face of boxing. It just made me almost cry, bro.
Yeah, no, to the youngsters, to them young YouTubers. So we got a good fight coming up though. Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. I think that's a very good fight. I think that's the first. I think that's the first test for Terrence Crawford at welterweight. I think he could lose this fight though. He been fighting because he ain't been fighting top. He could lose this fight, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I think Porter.
I think this is gonna be the first time Sean Porter gets stopped.
Oh, he might not turn south, but he's not really a southpaw, is he though?
I think he's definitely gonna get stopped this fight.
You think Crawford's gonna get stopped?
No, I think Sean Porter's gonna get stopped.
Hell no, man. Are you crazy? No way.
Well, Sean Porter did excellent against Errol Spence Jr. till that knockdown. He was doing excellent, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
if we see that,
it's a whole different animal he's fighting. I just watched that fight too. I noticed. I seen a couple of nice things that Spence does. He likes to put his head in because he's usually bigger than the person. So what he does is he uses his head to get space to go to the person's body and get inside. But this thing with Crawford is Crawford knows how timing and space and the jab. And then to me, like I just feel like he's gonna catch Porter with that overhand right. The same punch that he caught Amir Khan with. When you just try to jump in on him, he just takes a half a step back that gives him space to unleash that punch. And he knocked halfway across the ring with that when he fought Amir Khan. Not Amir Khan, Kell Brooks. He caught Kell Brooks with that overhand right, which out of the southpaw stance is just a hook. But I don't like. I just see him stopping. Porter.
I don't see how.
This timing, space, the jab.
Nah.
He's just too many tools in the toolbox.
Nah, man. We think 74.
I think that Terrence Crawford is finally fighting somebody, so I'm just excited about that. Like, I mean, honestly, I can't think of anybody, any top boxer Terrence Crawford has faced. Where Sean Porter, I can think of several. So
he faced and lost.
Yeah,
but he's going against the best though.
Yeah.
Usyk tough, you know what I mean? Usyk tough. What's his name again? Ponytail, Crawford, Furman, Spence. Kell Brook when Kell Brook was Kell Brook. Yeah, like Garcia. Like he fighting when you fight in the top league, yeah. And now this guy be fighting in the bum league. He gonna find out, bro.
He took the IBF from Devin Alexander. Alexander was one of the top dudes too.
Yeah, I hear what y'all saying, but just look at the man's timing, speed, the power, both hands.
Against who?
Like he has all the tools in the tool.
Against Mean Machine.
Yeah, he has all but all of those tools are still gonna play out versus Porter. Porter doesn't do nothing but smother his own punches and come inside. Yeah, he pushes the fight, but he doesn't do enough to. That's why he loses the fights to the big opponents because he doesn't really never do enough. If you go back and look at it, he almost lost that fight to what you call it too to Ugas.
Yeah, what weight did Bud come from?
He started at
135.
135.
So he ain't the big opponent going in there, bro. He ain't the bigger. Porter's the big opponent, bro. He started at 140. My man started at 130, 135. So what I'm saying is that he's the bigger guy. He might be shorter, but he's the bigger guy going in there. Like this is a real legit test. He ain't no bloody Jeff Horn, bro.
So when you say the bigger guy, who reaches longer?
74-inch reach for Crawford.
Yeah, they ain't gonna help.
Reaches longer. He's
they ain't gonna help him. Okay, Errol Spence got a long reach as well. That was still a good fight, you know what I mean? So was Furman's. That don't mean he has a way to get in. What I'm saying is that for Crawford, yeah, like Crawford, real Crawford, when you look at Crawford looking at this guy here, the guy's durable, he ain't gonna be stopping and he's gonna keep coming for you, you know what I'm saying? And you see how he is when he gets hit. I see Gamboa wobble him. So you don't think Sean Porter can't wobble him? Come on now.
It all depends on how the person, like you see, the styles make fights. Just because one person wobble a guy or one person beat a guy don't mean the other person can do it. I look at the skill level and what the person brings to the table and how he just actually controls fights. So that's the part that I'm looking at. That even when Porter tries to do that Russian part, like I called it, like I'm saying it, I call it again. I feel he's just going to take that half a step to the right, which is going to make him out of range, and then he's just going to bring that right hand down, that thunder, and that's just. And I'm talking from the southpaw stance, so that's a hook. And when he hit Sean Porter with that, Sean Porter's going to hit the canvas, and if he gets up, he's going to get stopped.
My man says Silverstream, yeah. He said if Crawford beats Porter, convincingly he ain't gonna get no credit. Would you?
I disagree. No. He absolutely would get credit.
Yeah,
Again, the big thing with me with Bud Crawford is that Terrence Crawford up to this point, and it's not his fault. It's his fault for the promoter who he decided to sign with, because we all know Bob Arum likes these in-house fights to get the in-house money. And so that's why, like it was successful with Pacquiao, but, with Crawford, the division, the top rank has changed a lot. So you can't do the same stuff. You can't get away with the same things that you were getting away with Pacquiao for years. Because, of course, he had Cotto, he had Marquez, he had Timothy Bradley. He had a really good stable of fighters. But Bob Arum doesn't have that great stable of fighters anymore like he did in the Pacquiao era. So, of course, you need to reach out to other promotions and other networks and try to get your best guy against those dudes, unless you're reluctant to lose a belt. But Crawford, of course, we know Bob Arum got the WBO in his back pocket. But anyway, it's no secret. But anyway, Terrence Crawford, if he beats Sean Porter, whether it's a unanimous decision, knockout, whatever, oh man, definitely from the fans, he gets respect. He already has a lot of American fans. He already has a lot of fans that support him. It was just that for years we were wanting Terrence Crawford to fight people who we knew were going to be good competition for him. Hopefully in this fight, we get to see a good fight, and however the fight comes out, man, if Terrence Crawford wins and it's a convincing win, man, he gets nothing but props.
100%. My man said, funny enough, Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs, bro. Do y'all know that? I wouldn't mind seeing that. Yo, Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs, bro. Like, that's deep, right? Because Sean Porter was big, man, in the amateurs, because he used to play football and stuff like that. He's actually come down. But that just shows you, bro. Boxing in the amateurs is weird, bro. Nice one. That's a nice little stat. But look, in closing, because I'm tired out. YG don't let's get it right. YG's ducking the question. He don't want to put his ducks on the table. He don't want to.
I told them Friday they come back to the channel.
Yeah, that's a duck. Yeah, it's a duck. You know what I mean? My man. Yeah, it's a duck. Khan was hitting me up from early, saying, so yo, EJ, man, let's get this thing. And Khan's even breaking hard to even stay awake right now, because we over in the UK and it's late. You know, Khan got work and we got work in the morning. But I know YGC, you don't want to hear no bullshit. See, my man 70, 74, yeah, he made the breakdown. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do, right? Yeah. I tell you we're gonna come back on the way.
One thing I just want to pick up, guys. Yeah, you guys, we're not seeing Fury AJ.
Go ahead. Say again.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Say again.
Sorry, I think this fucking internet is going, man.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right now. Go ahead. Con, go ahead.
Internet connection.
Yeah. I think he is having technical problems there, people.
Yeah, but
After Con, you still there?
Yeah, he's trying to fix what you got. But I actually really like to see the fighters. I need to see.
I want to hear your bullshit, YG.
I need to kind of see what kind of shape.
I don't hear your bullshit. I ain't trying to hear that. You on the fence, and I can see you got splinters right now. I don't want to hear that bullshit. That's what you're doing. Yeah, you trying to go like you already, but out the gate, you got Fury against Wilder straight off the gate. You can call that one straight because you see that, right? But this one here, you're like, no, man. I want to
see how AJ look.
AJ gonna look the same, bro. AJ gonna come in muscular. That's what you do know. Whether he's big or small, he's muscular. AJ.
They say he trimmed down. I gotta see how his body look.
All right. Let me. If he's slimmed down, you ain't picking him. If he's bulking up, you picking him. Which one is it?
Yeah, if he's all slimmed down and stuff, I ain't.
You don't like that, but that's the same slim down he beat Ruiz on, right? You don't like that one?
Yeah, but Ruiz was overweight and slower. It wasn't the same. They caught him after Thanksgiving.
No one told him to eat Thanksgiving, bro. That's his business.
Nah, I mean, I get what you call it, but it is what it is. That's what happened. But man, this fight, fight right here is a lot different. If he slims down and give up his advantage, because his advantage is the power that he could get Usyk out of there. But if he slims down and give up some of his power for more endurance to go 12 rounds and to do that boxing off the back foot like how he did versus Andy Ruiz, then I'm a favor Usyk, because if it turns into a boxing fight, I'm going with Usyk. But if AJ's gonna bulk up and come in there and slug to get him out of there, then I'm going with AJ in a 6-round stoppage.
Oh, there you go. See, look, I finally forced him into it. 774. I forced him in. I forced him off the fence. I forced him off the fence, bro. See, YG came out swinging. See, he already knows he's gonna pick already. He just wants to see AJ to confirm what he thinks already. 6 round. I got it. See, that's what it is. I have to force him off that. But anyway, yo. So we gonna come back. I wasn't looking to actually. Friday. I'm busy Friday. My bad. No, I don't think I'll be around for the weigh-in because I think we got amateur bout. So we're gonna have to come back on fight night. You know what I mean? Fight night,
early afternoon time.
I'm looking at AJ's Instagram, man. He looks ripped, man. I mean, he looks good.
Told you. That's what I said to YG that he still is in shape. You know what I mean? Regardless, he's gonna be coming. AJ's the face of boxing in the UK. It's a shame that he hasn't translated that in America like Lennox Lewis did. For whatever reason, that's not happening. Whether Eddie Hearn or whatever. But the thing is, if he was the face of like Mike Tyson was the face of boxing in the world. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali. Lennox Lewis was the face of boxing. Vladimir Klitschko. I don't think so much. Was he the face of boxing? I don't think. Maybe he was the face of European boxing. You know what I'm saying? And AJ's the face of UK boxing, but he's not the world face of boxing yet. Canelo, he's the face of Mexico, but he ain't that big over here. You know what I mean? So dudes need to stop coming out your patch. They need to do what Sugar Ray Robinson and Ali do, and this is a world sport. Fight other guys in their country, and that's how you build the sport up. You know what? Yo, someone's got the music on in the background. Who that? Yeah. All right. Yeah. What I'm saying is that guys used to go around like they did it back in the days and go around the world and defend their belts, man. That's what I like, man. You know what I'm saying? Different countries and stuff like that. But I'll leave you on that. Hey, 74, the pugilist specialist. Give us your last take on what you expect. And you coming back on Saturday?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Man, it's good to have you over, bro. I remember I always watch your channel, man. And your thing is you break it down. Your breakdowns are nice and just slow roast. You just to take your time and make sure you do. You know what I'm saying? So really appreciate you coming over, bro. Over here. You're here, bro. YG, give us your take, man. Last take. Come on, YG.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna see y'all Saturday afternoon, and we're gonna make our final predictions. We already know EJ gonna flip flop. He might switch over and take Usyk too. He usually pick against the UK fighters, but
he's right about that. He's right about that. No, I ain't gonna lie. I be cussing them off. But AJ don't get that kind of like. I was gonna go in on Fury, but like my man Khan, You know, shout out to my man Khan coming over. Like, he's a big Fury fan. I don't want to upset him. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been over my channel for a while. But hey, for you guys in the chat, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream and hangout. You know, do me a favor, press the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, and we will catch you on Saturday night to see if our predictions come true. I got 10th round. What round you got? What pugilist? 74. What round you got? AJ.
I have a decision. I have AJ winning by decision.
Oh, you got AJ on points, right? And YG's got 6th round stoppage for AJ, right?
Yeah, that's if he comes bulked up. If he turned down, we're gonna have a new.
Oh yeah, you can pick Usyk.
New. Yeah, if he comes slim down, I'm going with Usyk, man, the southpaw.
Wow. See, YG's got. You gonna put somebody on that?
And new. Yeah, we got. That's what we're gonna see.
Yeah, YG. Hey, why last time to the YG said he could put a stack on Mikey Garcia to beat you look how that went.
Last time you talked to me, you know that fight was like 3 years ago, but
yeah, but you know, you like to wind him up. All right, man. Yo, what's up, AMG, bro? We about AMG too. We were just bouncing out. So appreciate you guys coming over, and we will catch you very, very soon in the weekend. Take care. Peace. YG night, boy.